Hello kids! By the way, I am Binibining Mutiya Kabanalan, your future Mathematics Teacher 3. Our study is about identifying and defining congruent line segment. At the end of the lesson, students are expected to identify and display a line segment of equal length and create identical or congruent line segments. In the previous lesson, we studied and learned to recognize and draw parallel lines, intersecting lines, and perpendicular lines. Let's examine and study the illustrations below. What do you notice about the pair of line segments in our illustration? Right! We have pairs of line segments with different characteristics displayed. If we examine and analyze, the line segment AX can be called line segment XA because it is possible to reverse the letter of its name. And the line segment FK or line segment KF will have the same length, called the congruent line segment. Congruent line segments are line segments of the same length that can be displayed using this symbol. So we can declare that line segment AX is congruent to line segment FK because they are the same length. We find that the first illustration shows a congruent line segment. Now, let's study the second illustration. If you have noticed, line segment MP or line segment PM and line segment VC or line segment CB do not have the same length as its line segments or are called non-congruent line segments because line segment MP are longer than line segment VC. So we can state that line segment MP is not congruent to line segment VC. Let's get used to it. Let's complete task 2 of your module. Instructions. Write on your answer sheet the line segments that are the same, the length or congruent line segments. Are you ready? Let's start. Did you see and record the congruent line segments of our illustration? Some of the line segments that can be seen here are line segment GT and line segment OA, line segment GO and line segment TA, line segment EL and line segment NA, line segment EN and line segment LA, line segment OA and line segment EN, line segment GT and line segment LA, line segment OA and line segment LA. If you have other line segments seen, you can add them to your answers. Let us remember that line segments with the same length are called congruent line segments, while not congruent line segments if they do not have the same length. You can use the congruent line segment symbol to show that the line segments are the same length. Now, let's answer task 3 of your module. Instructions. Using the ruler, measure and compare the line segments below. Write the congruent line segments on your answer sheet. Here are the line segments we will review and select. Are you ready? Let's start. Do you see the same length of line segments AB? Right. The equivalent of its length is the PV line segment. So we can declare that line segments AB is congruent to line segments PV. The line segment MN, let's find its equivalent of length. Great! The equivalent length of line segment MN is the line segment RS. So we can declare that line segments MN is congruent to line segments RS. Now, let's find the same length of line segment LK. Right! It is as long as the line segment OQ. So we can state that line segment LK is congruent to line segment OQ. Let us find the equivalent of the length of the line segments UW. Great! The same length of line segment UW is the line segment FG. So it can be stated that line segment UW is congruent to line segment FG. If there are other pairs of line segments that you see are the same length, you can add them to your answers. Excellent! You have finished our lesson. If there are parts that are not clear to you, you can go back and watch the video again for your full learning. For further work, you will read and study your module on pages 29 to 30. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much.